welcome to Christy's 30 Days of Sketches for March 2022. So I actually got into this last September and did 30 days, and honestly it got me back in my scrapping mojo. So I'm going to do it this time too because I think it's helpful to me. This is day one, and you'll notice on, I guess this one's by Lisa Sikorsky, and you'll see there's one photo, a couple of embellishment clusters. The biggest feature I think is supposedly in my mind, are these tags. And then of course there's a pattern here and, you know, that sort of thing. So there's three pattern papers plus a base and then a bunch of tags. So what I decided to work on is, I was thinking in my head, okay, what do I have that has a bunch of tags in it? And then, because, you know, some papers you'll find have, you know, tags pre-printed. And I thought to get one of those, but if I'm 100% honest, I couldn't remember which one does that. And then I got distracted by this kit. So I decided to use this Simple Story, Simple Vintage Coastal. I bought this a few weeks ago just because I thought it was pretty. I don't know if I even really had anything specific in my mind, but I did go into my 2016 Costa Rica pictures. We had a vacation in Costa Rica, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But anyways, I have this one picture of my daughter. She's out there in the water. I think that's her shoes. She's just, you know, playing around in the water. And I thought for one picture, this is kind of a nice picture because it's a lot of just blue. And it'll be, I think, pretty against one of these more, I'm going to try to pick maybe a busy pattern, you know, behind it. I haven't picked it yet. So I'll show you that in a second. But anyway, this is the kit I'm hoping you can see that, guys. I'm so sorry. I just realized this light is possibly reflecting. So I'm going to pull this out. Yeah, maybe that's a little better. It's a little sunshiny. So anyway, I'll go through the papers here. I don't need to show you the whole set. I mean, you can kind of see it on that cover sheet, but you can see they're just very tropical, right? So I need to pick out some papers here, and then I'll get this going. And I'm going to try to do this fast because I'll have to do this every day for 30 days. So talk soon. All right, everybody. So this layout actually went fairly fast, and the recording's going to go pretty fast too, which I'm pleased with. If I'm going to do this every day, which is my plan, so I'm going to see if I can do this. If I do this every day, I can't be spending, you know, 2 hours making a video because I just run out of time. So what I've got at this point, so I picked out my collection. I've got this background paper that's kind of a map with like this cool mixed media looking kind of watercolory, you know, on top of it. And I just love those colors. It's just really pretty. And then I decided to have the right-hand side be this wood grain. I don't know what kind of wood that is. I get some kind of driftwood color, I guess. But I thought that was a really cool contrast to the pinks and blues and all that. And then I've added this little strip here. I contemplated the turquoise, but I thought, no, I'm going to go and stick with my original instincts, which was that newsprint. This is all going to go up behind the photograph, and I'm just dry fitting right now. I'm just cutting and dry fitting. I've got my photograph. I've got to measure that. I decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut my photo mats. And this same little newsprint paper here, I thought, okay, what I'm going to do is put the newsprint next to the photo. So I'm trimming the picture mat to do that. And then I'm going to have a second mat that's in the turquoise. So there's stuff between. So I've got the newsprint, you know, as the long skinny piece, and I also have the newsprint as a photo mat, but because I got the turquoise in between, you know, it doesn't like bleed into each other. So that's when I'm looking at this, and I set it down there, and I realized, oh shoot, there's another third little pattern there that I need. And I'm looking at it and I go, I don't want to use any of the turquoise because I think that's just going to be too much turquoise in one spot. So I know I kind of want a pink. So I start looking at the pink papers. Well, I looked to see if there's any other colors. I thought maybe, you know, there were some whites and that sort of thing, but I don't really want to do that. So I looked at this pink here, but I go, no, I'm going to use that for my tags. At least I thought I kind of do. And then I looked at the flamingos. The flamingos are just adorable. I love flamingos. But for this layout, I go, it's not going to really work. I'm sure I've got other things that's going to be a little more appropriate for. So then I pull out this one. I go, nope, that's not going to work. I've already got me a wood grain there. So I look at this seashell one, and I decide, okay, I'm going to work with the seashells. I mean, it is the beach, right? So I end up cutting this. Now, I'm looking to see about how wide I want it because, of course, the sketch doesn't have measurements, which I'm fine with that. Actually, I appreciate that because it affords me some creativity with the sketch. But at the same time, I have to figure it out. And then I cut it. And if I'm honest, I cut it probably a little more narrow than I should have. I don't know why. I'm sure I cut it and mismeasured myself or something. But it's okay. I mean, ultimately, it looks totally fine. So then I've decided, okay, that's what's going to go there. And then I do need these tags on the left side. And so I had pulled out 2 sheets of paper, that turquoise there and that green. And the back sides are really pretty, but I go, okay, I'm going to end up I need to use these back sides because I need some pretty solid contrasts here. And this is where I'm kind of measuring. I'm trying to decide, okay, how wide do the tags need to be? Initially, I thought an inch because on the sketch, they look kind of skinny. But if I do an inch, there was only like 7 of them. And I go, okay, that's not going to be enough to cover the vertical space I need to cover. So I decide on an 1.5 inches. And then I'm trying to figure out now why I'm fassing around with that is beyond me. But now I'm trying to figure out like, okay, now how long do the tags need to be? And again, I don't know what it is about me. I measure stuff and I still make them too small. I still decide I cut these things at 3 inches. And I guess in some ways it was because I was trying to be a little bit smart about, okay, well, if I have a 12 inch long sheet or, that I've cut 1.5 inch or whatever, and I do 3, then I could theoretically get 4 of those out of that if I wanted to. But I don't know. I didn't even need that many, so I don't know why I had to do that. Probably should have made them like 3.5 inches, really, in hindsight. But it's okay. It works out fine. That's the nice thing about, creative paper crafting. It's A, it's just paper, and B, you can usually figure out a way to make it work if you want to. So I've gone ahead and cut these, and initially I also kind of thought I'll use the solid sides. They offer a real nice contrast. But then I go to start cutting the tags, and I don't show this because it's just using my little one tool thing from We Are Memory Keepers or whatever. But I go through and I start cutting the tags and I flip them over to do the one side to trim it or whatever. And I realize, oh, there's a really pretty pattern on the back side of one of these. So I actually decide that really pretty floral right there, I think those are hibiscus. I go, oh, I want to use that side. That's really pretty. So I end up kind of using that, and then I flip over one or two of the others, and I end up with a little mat or a little map or something pattern. And anyway, my point is I end up flipping it over. I don't use all the green actually. And so then I decide, okay, I'm going to scuff all the edges of these papers. For me, the beach, it's kind of organic and natural, and I don't know how to explain it, but it just feels like, you can have a little rougher textures and stuff like that. So I've decided I'm going to scuff all the edges of these papers. I do lightly scuff the edges of the tags. I don't do the background paper. I actually end up inking that, and I'll do that at the end, but I'll show you. But I've gone ahead and I've scuffed all my papers. I've glued it. Well, I haven't glued it down. I'm about to glue it down. One trick too, just so you know, and I don't know if this matters to you or not, but I find if I'm scuffing the edges of everything, you end up kind of lifting everything. So what I will do sometimes, if I don't want to create all that lift, I will only texture the edges you see. So you see I'm putting the photograph on top of that seashell paper. I didn't actually scuff under where the photograph is laying because I didn't want it to create this great deal of dimension under the photograph. So where the photograph's kind of going, I didn't scuff those pieces. I sometimes might if I'm going to put foam on it, like, lift the picture. In this case, I decided not to lift the picture on foam because I knew I was going to end up using some of those stickers and putting them on top of the picture. Because according to the sketch, you see a couple of little clusters and they do overlap the picture. So I knew I was going to, since I only had stickers and they're kind of flat, I didn't want to lift the picture up. I do end up lifting up some of the stickers on foam, and you'll see that too. But here's where I'm kind of gluing all my papers down, and I end up taking my tags, and now I have to fuss around with these things and figure out exactly where they go. I will say the sketch is really helpful because even though it's in like a green monotone, and I'm going to see if I can't figure out, I don't know how to add that image on image. Y'all, I'm sorry. You may just have to go check it out on the Facebook group. But anyways, it's kind of a green monotone. But she does do like different shades of green. So you can see, okay, I need a dark and then a light and then a mid-tone or something like that. So it kind of helps you with placing your, the contrasting pieces of the tags. Now there's where I had, they were just a hair too far apart or too, I kind of set them like right next to each other, but it gave it a little too much length, so I had to kind of adjust those, which I'm totally fine with. Again, I don't even mind that they overlap just a little bit. I think that it adds interest. So I'm going to go through here and just kind of glue these down where I've got them because I want them where they're at. Now, I did not, in the sketch, it does not show twine or string or whatever hanging off the tags. I don't know if that's intentional. Like she just may not have wanted to draw the strings. I don't really know. And initially I thought, well, maybe I won't do that. But then I thought, no, this beach has this really cool, again, organic texture-y type stuff. So I go ahead and I do end up adding
string in a minute. I don't show me adding string because I don't know that y'all need to see that. And plus I'm certain going to be watching a ton of videos today because, it's 30 days of sketches and everybody's making their videos. So there's going to be a whole bunch of them. So I'm not going to sit here and waste your time watching me put string on a tag. So in a second, you're going to see me shoot over here and I got my strings already. Now they're really long here because I still hadn't figured out how I wanted to do those. I may want to wind them a little bit or what. I hadn't done that yet. So they're real long. They don't stay that long. But I did take the string out. Initially, I had it in there, so that's why you see it kind of laying there and that one little white color tag. But then in the sketch, it does show the title kind of crossing over that tag. And I go, okay, I'm going to take that off because that's not going to work. And I end up choosing, okay, the font is a Hip Kit Club from a couple months ago. I want to say maybe December, but I can't swear on it. I did pick out, I struggled with the title at first. I knew it had to fit there. But then I was looking at the sticker sheet and there was a sticker that said something about Our Paradise. And I thought, oh, I'll just make it Paradise. I do find a little small word phrase sticker that says Surf's Up. And I mostly did that just because she's standing kind of in the surf. And so it basically ends up being kind of Surf's Up Paradise. I guess if you want to call that the title. So I kind of look on the sticker sheet. Yeah, here's where I pick up that Surf's Up. Now I actually stuck it right there originally. And then I don't know now, if I'm honest with you, if I take pictures after I move it or not. I did kind of looking at the layout after I glued things down, and I may have even taken the pictures, I'm not sure. But I looked at that little Surf's Up and I go, you're kind of smack dab in the middle of that word, Paradise, and I didn't like that. So I ended up moving it over to the left over the P. Something about it just, I didn't want it smack dab in the middle. It just looks weird to me, so I move it. I don't know if I do it, like I said before, I take the pictures, so sorry about that, but I do move that. Now here's where I'm looking at the stickers. There are technically three good size stickers. So there's that floral, then there's this cute, it's kind of boat related, and to be fair, there's no boats, but it's all oceany. There's that like boat with a steering wheel deal that says let's explore, and then there's that other little sailboat thing behind it. Now again, they're stickers, so there's not any dimension to them. I don't actually love that they're shiny, but it is what it is. They fit with the collection, so I'm going to use them. But I did end up deciding I have to put, these on foam stickers. And then I do like these little simple story, that they add these little word phrase, like ticket looking things. And I put favorite place and Paradise Found down there. That's technically not on the sketch. Well, the sketch says journaling. So I guess, if I'd wanted to write some stuff, I could have done that. But so I kind of put those in the place of the journaling. But here's where I'm putting the foam on this sticker. And I've fassed around with this thing for quite a little while too. I don't know what it was. I think it was because I'm trying to get it over the strings and the tags and the picture. So figuring out where I wanted my foam tape to go, where it was laying properly, was a bit tricky. And I kept messing with it. I don't know. It took me forever. I'll cut over in a second. I'll just tell you real quickly. So the picture is when we went to Costa Rica. It was in 2016. And it was our Christmas trip. My husband's parents had just passed away. His dad passed away in 2016. And he just couldn't really do traditional Christmas. So we ended up deciding, we're going to go away, just do something different. So we go to this resort in Costa Rica. And it was just so beautiful. I mean, honestly, excuse me, it was after the rainy season. So the weather was gorgeous. It was like high 80s. I mean, it was literally paradise. We did a bunch of little excursions. We got to see a volcano. We got to see monkeys. We got to see, we did snorkeling. It was really cool. We enjoyed the crap out of it. And then our dinner on Christmas Day, they had this really, really nice all-you-can-eat buffet, which sounds really cheesy, but if you've ever been to all-inclusive resorts, they do them pretty nicely. And they had like all these kind of cool nutcracker, there was people in these lit-up glass cage looking things. I want to say cage, but it was just huge and beautiful. And then it had eye sculptures and it was just phenomenal. Everybody dressed up, So I did decide to ink the edges of that background there with that vintage photo Distress Oxide. And then I did that before I did glued these little wood veneer pieces down. These came out of my stash. I had this cool bird. I don't know that it's a seagull, but I'm going to pretend in my head it's a seagull. I just go, it's just a seagull in my head. And then I had these little wood hearts. And the sketch did show like little scattering bits kind of, in the clusters. So I'm just going to add these little wood veneer hearts. You can't go wrong with wood veneer in a beach. I mean, I almost got a little bit worried because I do have that light colored wood veneer or wood grain paper. But I think it worked out because the warmth of the the background paper kind of helps it. So I'm just using my Nuvo glue to glue these little pieces of wood down. I'm so proud of myself, y'all. That's day 1. So y'all stay tuned. I should be doing one every day, I hope. That's my goal anyways. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the close-ups in just a second. And we will talk soon. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Have a good day. Oh, like and subscribe. Don't forget to do that. Talk soon. Bye.